Hi, I'm Brian West, the Taylor Swift reporter for USA Today Network and Gannett. And unless you've been under a rock or without reception, you've obviously heard about the proposal around the world between Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. This is a significant proposal on global proportions. Fans everywhere excited that the Eras Tour singer is finally getting her fairy tale happy ending. Yesterday, a cabinet meeting with the president was halted as reporters asked questions about it. It also, at certain points, kind of glitched or crashed Instagram in areas. Fans are just so delighted and ecstatic about the news between Travis and Taylor.
So, as exclusively confirmed by Page Six Style, Taylor's ring was designed by Kindred Lubeck of Artifacts Fine in collaboration with Travis Kelce. So, he had a hand in the design. Kindred specializes in engraved pieces, and you can see that the yellow gold band of Taylor's ring has these very beautiful ornate detail work engravings. The diamond at the center is an old mine brilliant cut. So old mine diamonds date back to before modern diamond technology, cutting technology existed. So they have kind of chunky facets that give off this really beautiful romantic glow. Sort of unlike the perfectly impeccably cut diamonds of today, no two old mine diamonds are alike. So he truly found a one-of-a-kind piece for Taylor.
One song that we do know Taylor Swift wrote about Travis Kelce is the song So High School. When she's with him, she feels so high school, that kind of coquettish, flirty, excited, butterflies in the stomach feeling. So in her caption, she said, "It's your favorite English teacher and your PE teacher getting together." What's interesting, and maybe not talked about as much, is she has a dynamite emoji at the end. And their couple's name has always been TNT. He gave her a bracelet that says TNT, and so it's dynamite.
So in a very cute moment of couples coordination, Taylor and Travis both wore Polo Ralph Lauren for the proposal. Taylor was wearing the striped midi dress that sold out in under 20 minutes. It was truly flying off the shelves. And Travis was wearing a navy polo with sort of a cable knit detailing to it. So, you know, they weren't matching per se, but they were still in sync style-wise.
So she's very masterful at controlling her own narrative. She also makes her own decisions. We're told by Ed Kelce that when Travis was talking to him, Ed asked him, "When are you going to tell the world that you made the engagement proposal?" And he said, "Whenever Taylor wants me to tell." The other big part of her strategy is her huge fan base. As soon as she announces something, there are droves and droves of influencers that share this information across the internet globally. There are influencers in Australia and Asia and Europe and North America. That is basically all this free marketing that Taylor just made one post and it's instantly everywhere.
I do have a few guesses on who might design her dress. The first is Oscar de la Renta. So when Oscar, the designer, passed away in 2014, Taylor called him her all-time favorite designer. And while the house is now designed by the duo Fernando Garcia and Laura Kim, their looks are very true to the house. So, you know, beautiful bridal wear, really classic designs, and Taylor looks incredible in them. She's worn Oscar on quite a few red carpets before, and it suits her look so well. So I think Oscar would be a great choice. Then there's Stella McCartney. So Taylor and Stella have been close for a number of years and actually collaborated in 2019 on a clothing line pegged to her Lover album. She's worn her consistently throughout her career. She wore her looks on her Evermore album cover, you know, some of her different promotional tours. So I could see her tapping Stella to design the dress potentially. The final guest that I've been seeing from a lot of Swifties is Vivienne Westwood. So this is a brand that's newer to Taylor's wardrobe. She really started wearing Vivienne Westwood more during her Tortured Poets Department era, which was her most recent album. Vivienne Westwood bridal designs are easily identified by their corseted bodices and their draped necklines. They're super figure flattering. Taylor actually wore a white Vivienne Westwood dress on stage during the Eras Tour while performing the Tortured Poets Department section of her show. So she's familiar with the designs. They've been worn by many celebrity brides. People will probably remember Carrie Bradshaw's Vivienne Westwood bridal gown. It's absolutely iconic. So that could also be in the running for Taylor's dress.
What's interesting about this era with Travis Kelce is she has been so forthcoming in public. It was a shock to fans that when she went on the podcast, it was 2 hours of getting Taylor Swift content. Before then, your access to Taylor might have been through her songs, through her lyrics, which are like diary entries, or if she did the occasional interview here and there. Over the past 2 years, the only significant interview we've had with Taylor is when she was Time Magazine Person of the Year. So we're entering this new era where it seems like she is more comfortable to share a little bit more of her life. She could have chosen with this engagement to keep it private. We're told by Ed Kelce that 2 weeks ago the engagement happened and she could have kept it private for a little bit longer, but instead she's embracing this public nature and allowing fans and the world in on their proposal.
Taylor and Travis's wedding is basically shaping up to be our royal wedding, and I think the guest list will be completely star-studded. We can expect to see some of Travis's teammates there, from the Chiefs, obviously, his family, Taylor's family, and also some of her close friends. So I'm thinking maybe the folks she's been close with a really long time, like Selena Gomez, Abigail, who's been her friend since her school days. Maybe a few others will pop up, but I also sort of could see them keeping it rather intimate instead of doing like a huge glitzy blowout. Maybe having something, smaller and romantic at one of their homes. I think that would really mesh nicely with the nature of the proposal.
So after the proposal heard around the world, the big question now is the wedding and what's next. When's the date? Would they go more large scale or more intimate? With this relationship, I think Taylor has never done anything quite like this. She was very forthcoming in the New Heights podcast, so it is plausible that they would have a public wedding in some capacity, but it's also possible that she is a private person. The question is, how much do you contain it? Where do you even go in your Taylor Swift and everybody in the world knows you? So I would guess her team and his team are discussing all of those details now.